how you talk to yourself is more important than how you talk to anyone else.
Welcome to the Hopefulist, a daily talk show hosted by veteran broadcaster Wendy McClure. Join Wendy each day as she shares her life lessons that transformed her from perpetual pessimist to the ultimate hopefulist. The perfect morning show to get you caught up on the day's top stories while sharing insights that will lead to positive transformation and bring out the hopefulist in you. For more inspiration, visit Hopefulist.com. And now, here's your host and hopefulist, Wendy McClure.
Welcome to the Hopefulist. Thank you for joining me for your daily dose of inspiration and positivity. The quote of the day: permission should come from you. You have to believe in you before anybody else will believe in you. So true. So believe in yourself and be you, and make sure that is represented in the way that you talk to yourself. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. Your self-talk, and how most of us have a very bad habit of consistent negative self-talk. So we're going to address that today and try to switch it. We're going to flip the script when it comes to talking to ourselves in our own head and tell ourselves empowering things that will motivate us and inspire us. Because here's the thing. If you walk around thinking in your head, saying to yourself, life sucks, that's what you're going to see. Because you're focusing on the bad parts. You're focusing on what you don't like. So if you consistently say to yourself, life sucks, life will indeed suck. But if you can change the script in your head to be more open and to bring in more light, then maybe you can look at the world with eyes of wonder and excitement and positivity, and thinking that good things will come your way. One of my go-to phrases most of my life was, I have the worst luck. The worst luck. I don't say that anymore. Everybody has times when things aren't great. I didn't necessarily have more bad luck than anyone else did. I know I focused on it more. Maybe that's what made it feel like I had worse luck. I made a big deal out of it. Did you guys ever watch HGTV? You know the show Love It or List It? If you ever seen that. Compared to Fixer Upper, the one with Joanna and Chip Gaines. We used to watch both those shows all the time. And on Love It or List It, they come in with a budget for the restorations that they're looking for. And without fail, the woman always goes over the budget. Always. And it's this big deal. I told you we didn't have any more money. And, it's either, they have to either come up with more money, or they have to just abandon one of the projects that was on their list, because it's always an issue. Always goes over budget. Go to Fixer Upper, where it's really the same scenario, but they don't focus on that part. Either they come out with more money, or they abandon part of the project, but they don't talk about it. It's just not part of their process. So, and I'm using those two as an example. I hope you see, as what you focus on is what becomes a big deal. One show focuses on the fact that there's lack, and the other show just focuses on what is being done. And that's how we want your life to be. We want you to focus on what is working in your life, what you're working toward, not what you lack, not what you wish you had compared to others, but what you want, what you're willing to work for. And there you have it. Gone off on a little tangent this morning, haven't I? Didn't even get to the blog post yet. I am going to go running right into today's topic. And I thought since with the end of daylight savings over the weekend, I saw some really, really funny memes about the end of daylight savings. In fact, let me take a look. I think I remember who posted it. So let me see. Stick with me. Okay, here you go. What do you get when you mix COVID anxiety, seasonal depression, cuffing? I don't know what that part is. Good old-fashioned regular depression and election stress, then take away 1 hour of sunlight? Bitch, we're about to find out. I think that's hysterical. I thought I laughed. I thought it was funny. Sorry, I cursed. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a big deal. So with daylight savings ending over the weekend, do you prefer more light in the morning or in the evening? Now, I talked about my preference a little bit yesterday. I love the fact that it's lighter now in the morning. It's 6:20 and it's already light out. I cannot stand waiting until almost 7:30 for it to be light out in the morning. That's so late to me. And I asked this question thinking it would be a landslide for evening. And I was pretty surprised that there were quite a few people that do prefer the morning light. I have to say it came probably about 60% evening, 40% morning. And I got to tell you, that is a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. A couple of your responses. Lisa says, morning, I hate driving to work in the dark. On the flip side of that, my husband came home a little bit grouchy yesterday, and he said he hates coming out of work when it's pitch dark out because he leaves work around 6 o'clock. I know, I feel you. I feel you. The good news is, it's kind of good news. About a month and a half until it starts getting longer days again. Dawn says, I prefer the morning. Who needs more light at the end of the day when it's cold outside? That's kind of the way I feel. You know, winter, we don't really do much. So it's not that much of a loss to not have more daylight in the afternoons because I'm pretty much wrapped up in my blanket, eating my dinner, and sticking inside for the most part. And this time of year, I actually kind of look forward to it getting dark a little bit earlier. Mostly this year because I put up a little nautical tree in the house. And I keep calling it a nautical tree because apparently my husband found out yesterday that I plan to keep this up all year. And I don't think that he is behind that decision. He's like, it's a Christmas tree. I'm like, it's a nautical tree. He said, but it's still a Christmas tree. I'm like, no, it's a nautical tree. Do you think there's something wrong with keeping a tree up in your house all year long if it is not Christmas themed? I know people who have a tree up all year long and they decorate it per holiday. They have an Easter tree. They have a, what am I thinking of? St. Patrick's Day tree. They do a Halloween tree and a Thanksgiving tree. You know, this is just going to be our nautical tree. I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Are you thinking that it's kind of crazy to keep it up? I don't know. It makes me happy. Makes me happy. We'll see what happens. Yeah, he was not very in favor of it. Thought it was a little silly, I think, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you posted. To the blog post for today, as I mentioned, we're talking about how you talk to yourself. That's right. Self-talk. And how important it truly is. When you wake up and look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, what are you thinking? What are the things you're saying to yourself? Are they things that lift you up and empower you? Or are they things that keep you stuck where you are? Or do you talk to yourself at all? Sometimes, I would, even putting makeup on, I just really wouldn't even notice myself. I would watch what I was doing, but I didn't really pay attention to my image in the mirror. Negative self-talk, that's an epidemic in this country, especially for women. We have been bashing ourselves to ourselves for so long, we likely don't even realize we are doing it anymore. The first step, recognize when you do it. When you find yourself thinking negative thoughts about yourself, stop. Tell yourself this is not helping you and replace it with something empowering. And of course, you all know the number one rule of the Hopefulist. What is it? That's right. Never, ever call yourself bad names. I just won't tolerate it. Because even if we only say to ourselves these things, we will start to believe it. Don't call yourself dumb, fat, lazy, idiotic, etc. Not only is it unproductive, it's just not true. You're never going to shame your way into good behavior. By the way, I still have to remind myself of this rule from time to time, too. Every once in a while, I'll say something disparaging about myself, and my husband will be like, whoa, you're not allowed to call yourself bad names. Thanks for the reminder, Joe. The other thing to realize is how damaging these words are. Think of yourself like your child or your best friend. Would you wake up in the morning and tell your child, I hope you can get through the day without doing anything stupid? Or look how awful your appearance is. No one will ever want you. No, of course not. You would never say something like that to other people. Why do we treat ourselves so much worse than we do the others in our lives? Why do we expect so much more from ourselves than we do others? We should be treating ourselves with the most kindness. We're the ones we spend the most time with. There are often times I beat myself up for not doing enough in a day. I write out this ridiculously long list of things to do, say for my business and just to do in one day. And of course, I don't get it all done. Then I bash myself for not doing what I said I would do. But in reality, I expected too much. I go from 0 to 60. I would never have given a list like that to anyone else. It's the same with losing weight. We are so impatient. We want to lose weight in a week, so we starve ourselves. And then we break down and binge. We set ourselves up for failure. Not to mention drastically cutting down on food intake will almost always make you snap in one form or another. Stop expecting so much from ourselves, and gosh nabbit, stop bashing ourselves when we don't live up to ridiculous expectations. Once you start realizing how often you engage in negative self-talk, you can replace it with positive, empowering thoughts and mantras. Yes, this is the hard part. It will be difficult at first. It will feel weird and uncomfortable and corny. But if you can't be kind to yourself, how do we expect others to be kind to us? Treat yourself the way you would like to be treated by others. And guess what? The bonus is you will no longer need others to be kind to you because you feel that need yourself. You still want others to be kind to you, obviously. And I'm guessing that people will still be kind to you, maybe even more so. So yes, look in the mirror every day and tell yourself how lucky you feel to be alive, how much you appreciate that you get to make a difference today. Affirm to yourself that you have what it takes to do whatever it is you want to achieve this day. Notice how much you love the color of your eyes or how cute your hair looks today. If you need help with this, write things down on your bathroom mirror and read them. Post-it notes work too. I have a sticker that someone gave me in a conference that says, "You are powerful." I change up the rest of it. But currently I have eat foods that nourish your body. And you are worth the work. To remind myself of what is important to me right now. And then read them. That's another habit you get into. That's another reason you need to change things up so that the newness of it sparks your eye so that you actually read it. Writing it down isn't enough. You have to read it. Changing your mindset and your self-talk is one of the hardest things you will ever do, but it will be so worth the effort. Think of it as a muscle that needs conditioning to get strong. Little steps that will take you to the point where you look in the mirror and know your worth. It won't happen overnight, but it will happen if you keep up with it. Trust me on this. Tomorrow, we will focus on comparison and how it is the death of joy and will never do anything good for your mindset. Oh, my Tuesday already. Hope you're having a great day and being your badass self. I'm right here cheering you on.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Repeat after me. I am powerful. I can do anything.